Hey everyone, welcome back to ChaatNChat. My name is Josh.
My name is Miguel.
And today we are watching Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3. This is part 3, so if you missed part 1 or part 2, then you can go check both of those out by clicking the playlist link in the description of this video, and then join us back here for part 3. And after the whole reaction thing, we give a review, our thoughts, opinions, ratings, that sort of thing, so if you're interested in it, don't miss it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't yet and you like these videos, then please be sure to subscribe, share और like button पर थप्पड़ मारो.
कल छत पर हमने चुड़ैल को देखा. ये बोलती कपड़ा सुखा रही थी. वो मैं थी. और कितना बार बोला है? विकी खाना कहाँ मरा है? उगा सामने बैठा है कोट पहन के उधर.
Oh, yo, looks dead.
शहर का सेवा करो. और इस और सिंहासन की जगह ना हम तीनों अनमोल रतन को ले जाते. थोड़ा खुश होकर 20-25 लाख रुपए मुंह पे मार देना. मरेगा. सेवा करेगा तो जरूर मरेगा. है ना?
Oh. What?
ज्यादा लंबा होता है. ये हाथ कुछ ज्यादा लंबा नहीं हो रहा है. पूरा गर्दन.
उल्टा होके बैठ गया.
भूतनाथ भाई. छोड़िए.
I don't know. Come sit on my lap, bachche. The Netflix sound. Oh my god. Ba-dum. Yeah, everyone knows what that sound is.
मैं आता हूँ. मैंने कहा था ना ये नहीं है. मान ही नहीं रहा था.
I don't know about her. She gives me some creepy vibes. Ghostbuster.
कुछ बोलते क्यों नहीं? अरे हमारी शादी होने वाली है रूहान. आओ ऊपर आओ.
Love is gonna be the death of this guy. Oh. It is like a maze. But why were the two sisters, they didn't want him to leave? They looked upset.
Because he is, I think, the reincarnation, and they have to do something.
Rolls Royce is still sitting there.
Okay, we've seen this thing where you end up at the same point.
तुम तो चले गए थे ना?
नहीं जा सका. और अपने होते हैं. एकदम हीरा लड़का ढूंढा हमारी बेटी ने. कोहिनूर.
You know, the Kohinoor? It's the gem that the diamond that the British took.
भी मंजूरी का बन जाता है. हम तो जा रहा है. जा पाओगे? हैं? काहे नहीं जा पाएगा? भगवान टांग दिया साला. हमारा रोल्स रॉयस भी तो खड़ा है. ये क्या है? क्यों? अरे मंजूलिका की नजर में आ गया है हम लोग. ये पहन लेगा तो पहचान नहीं पाएगा. मुंह ढको.
She won't recognize us. All right, Rolls Royce, do it.
No one's getting out.
गाड़ी से.
The engine got separated from that car.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone?
मंदिरा या मलिका?
मतलब तुमको लगता है कि उन दोनों में से कोई मंजुलिका है?
जब से वो दोनों यहाँ पे आए
It's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
करने के लिए शहर भेजा है।
पागल लड़की, हमको देने का था, हम साबुन से अच्छा से धोता था।
ओरे माथा मोटा, पेंटिंग साबुन से नहीं।
मतलब दुर्गाष्टमी।
Just had to be that day.
तू नहीं समझेगा, फील आती है।
फिर तो हमें सिर्फ तेल ही बचा सकता है।
अरे जाके मालूम।
You dress the part. Jeez, these two.
खत्म तो मैं करूंगा तुम दोनों को।
अरे कैसा गधा है तुम? खुद ही का जूता से खुद ही लात खाता है।
ओ मंजुलिका।
I'll take Autumn.
मैंने खुद को जिंदा जला दिया।
क्या?
She's going crazy. I think you're right because like her memories are coming back. We No, we still have one more day to go. There's too much happening today. Why? But why kill her? That guy needs to go see a doctor.
Yeah.
पहले हमारे प्रिय भाई को मारूंगी, फिर तुझे।
Oh, he did have. I was gonna say, where's the oil? Okay. Ghost essence is flammable.
Yeah. And a splash of little olive oil and
मंदिरा जी, I'm sorry, मैंने आपको गलत समझा। अब ठीक है?
Oh man, what is going on?
आमी मंजुलिका, आमी मंजुलिका।
Did she possess the other one
I guess.
to make him think that it was her?
Yeah.
साला इसका पूरा फोकस हमारी फैमिली की तरफ है।
कुछ करो।
बस मत आना, हमारा बाल में पवित्र तेल लगा है, देखो तो छन 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 छन। ऐसा तुम दोनों ने तेज चोर।
औलाद सिंह, रक्षा करो हमारी।
बात साला, हमको कौन रक्षा करेगा बे? वो बाबा को।
Oh. What?
हे भगवान, हम सबकी रक्षा कीजिए।
Oh.
चौहान, अबे चौहान नहीं, जवान।
Joan. Yeah, because he's like wrapped up in the mummy stuff, right? Like in Javan. Dude, if that's Shah Rukh Khan, I'm gonna be like, what? Oh, is it Chota Pandit?
It is. It is.
सपोर्ट लेके भी उठ नहीं पा रहा है, हैं?
Shut. Ding.
मल्लिका जी, आप याद दिलाओ।
Oh. They have the best seats in the house.
सच तो ये है कि न मैं भूत हूँ, न ये।
Man. So they were all just possessed. They really did a cool design with her, though. I guess very neat. The real Scarlet Witch.
Who is it?
मंजुलिका मंजुलिका नहीं राजकुमार देवेंद्र नाथ
What? No one saw that coming. Wait, what?
आप जैसा अभी देवेंद्र नाथ नोई अभी मंजुलिका
तो चल
Oh. Almost like a, maybe like a split personality type? Like,
आपने सिंहासन सौंपा है ना, चल के देखिए कितना बड़ा मर्द है वो।
So they revealed his secret. So they basically removed him from getting the throne by basically exposing his secret. That, you know, he liked to dance, he...
oh, that's messed up.
आज से तुम अपने भाई की खूनी के नाम से जानी जाओगी और अंजलि का तुम्हारा नाम इतिहास के पन्नों से सदा के लिए मिटा दिया जाएगा। दोनों को मैं देश निकाला का दंड देता हूं।
At least he's smart enough to see through all of that.
Yeah, no wonder he killed his father.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even want the throne, and he told them he didn't even want the throne.
Yeah.
मैं राजकुमारी मोंजुलिका के कमरे के द्वार पर बांधूंगा केवल प्रजा को यह दिखाने के लिए कि मोंजुलिका की आत्मा वहां असल में आत्मा मोंजुलिका की नहीं राजकुमार देवेंद्र नाथ की है और वो यहां बंधित है।
Oh, to throw off the trail.
मर गया।
धीरे धीरे मैं सबको विश्वास
I mean, it worked.
कोई बात नहीं एक और दौरा सब जाल में सब जिंदा चलेंगे
Oh, jeez. There's still oil in those 3 hair, though. Or at least the 2. He stepped in the oil.
You reap what you sow, dude.
Yeah, but not really.
Yeah, that's true, but...
आप दोनों का हुआ है चलाकर भस्म कर दो दूर जा
But, I mean, what justice is that? He really didn't do anything.
बहुत प्यार करता हूं आप दोनों से
Okay, they're having a good realization here. I was gonna say, I mean, this is kind of a messed up story if they burned him. And that rich business tycoon just happened to get in the way?
Yeah.
I love that particle effect is so pretty.
Purple for passion and love and spirit.
कि इसका अंत करने के लिए राजघराने से कोई पुनर्जन्म लेगा
Just not in the way they thought.
अंत इसे जलाकर नहीं बल्कि इसे समझ कर होगा।
Now the whole curse is lifted?
लेकिन जब मौका मिला तो कंपनी ने मेरी जगह कौशिक जी को असाइन कर दिया।
ओ, इसीलिए आपने कौशिक जी को
That's what we all thought.
वो एक्चुअली लंबी छुट्टी पे गए हैं गोवा।
Nice. Good place.
मेरा तो नाम भी मंदिरा नहीं है।
तो फिर
एसीपी राठौड़।
Oh, the one that found his secret out.
He's in a throne. What movie was it that the father-in-law of a future bride, the father-in-law of the future groom, he danced? And,
Oh, that was Rocky Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani.
Okay, I can't remember how to say all that.
Yeah,
but
well, Rocky is his name. Aur Rani is her
Rocky
name.
Aur
Ki
Rani.
Prem Kahani, which is like their love
Ki
story.
Prem
Kahani.
Kahani.
Kahani means story. Prem
Right.
is love.
Okay,
Right?
all right.
Their love story. Did it remind you of? I mean, because
Yeah.
it was both a guy dancing and doing like this traditional
Dance, yeah.
Bengali dance.
Yeah, and so that's I think where I want to start.
Okay.
Is when we found out the big secret, and it immediately reminded me of Rocky
Aur Rani Ki Prem Kahani.
Kahani, the movie where the father of the bride was a well-known cultural dancer, and he was ridiculed by the groom's family and found to be, it just wasn't acceptable and so forth. And it was interesting. I did not expect this sudden shift to kind of a very sensitive and sometimes for some people very controversial and very uncomfortable to talk about gender, role, perception, identity, and so forth. And I found that very interesting now. But as we got to the end of it, it was very interesting that they touched upon it before they got to it by having him impersonate the mother-in-law, okay? Even with the voice and so forth and mannerisms. They thought no problem there for him to do that in a way. So I thought that was looking back on it, I thought that was very interesting how they said, where is that line? Where is that line? And who defines that line? And how do we as total, because obviously his sisters loved him, but the whole issue of power got in the way. Okay.
Did they love him? I think they needed to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
I don't think they really minded the fact that he, his, spirit, Atma, was gender, so basically how I view this is that, our spirits are put into bodies, right? When we're incarnate, when we're born. And some have maybe a tendency to lean one way or the other, right?
Right.
And so here he was in a man's body, but the soul is more like feminine, right?
Yeah.
And so he was saying inside he's like Manjalika, right?
Yeah.
And so for him, I don't think his sisters really had a problem with that. They just saw it as something they could use because they know that the father wouldn't have anything. Did they love him? I don't know if they really loved him, but they needed to learn the lesson of acceptance and to see that their jealousy did harm and harmed somebody. And seeing somebody going through something and instead of helping them, they used it to their advantage because they knew everyone else would see him as a monster.
Yeah.
And I think that is an interesting thing too, is because here we see this evil spirit as a monster, but it was really just misunderstood, right? And I think the misunderstanding
it was also,
through the whole thing.
I also think that there was the element of the rage that someone in his position, when they are abused or put down for who they feel they are uniquely who they are, and that that anger and that rage, and so the fact that they got burned for it, and it's just like the worst. How can you do this to me, to person that I truly am, or the entity that I truly am. And so I think that in a way, you know, the spirit coming back was all that just anger and upset and, you know, sadness that had been endured by them.
We see a lot of ghost stories where ghosts linger because of the rage or something like that, right?
Yep.
And I really like the approach here that it wasn't like an exorcism that they needed to do or burn somebody to get rid of them or something like that, but it was just to understand the rage and where the person was coming from, where the rage was coming from.
Right.
And as soon as they understood that and the hurt and the trauma, and to realize at the very end that they were about to make the same mistake. To instead of understand what they did and why this rage was there, they were like, what's the quickest way to get rid of this rage and to burn it? But they're like, well, let's do something we didn't do before. Which is try to understand. I like that, and I like...
Well, and to just expand upon that a little bit, it then allowed everyone to benefit. Everybody was not going to burn. Okay, that was pretty important right there. And at the same time, then everything else that had been influenced or impacted was suddenly being let go and forgiven. And so I think that was, and it ultimately freed him for his he finally found his. They used one specific word that allowed him to ascend. Basically, he found his. Oh man, I've forgotten the word.
He found peace.
Yeah, peace. Well, it was peace, and so he was able to continue on in his journey. So that, I think, was an interesting spin that we need to think about. Is often in situations like that, we can find if we do the right things and we take the right steps, ultimately everybody benefits. So I think that was something that was also in there, that they did it in an interesting way.
Yeah,
so.
it was a shocking twist. I never saw that coming.
Yeah, I didn't
at
either.
all. And it's interesting because also in the past, the 200 years ago, we never did find out who he was supposed to be married to, because she was like veiled the whole time. So, I mean, we assume maybe it was the girl in the present that he was like meeting, right? Mira, I think her name was. And, you know, then I was with you on the same page for a bit that I thought maybe she was Manjulika.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that could be. So maybe not unveiling her was done on purpose, because it wasn't about that. It was about something completely different.
Yeah, it was just something to kind of give a red herring to give us something to be chasing on and everything. Yeah.
So I do appreciate that twist, because I never saw it coming. But I don't know, those three, they could be funny, like the pundits.
Oh, the pundits?
But I think I had a limit with that. Like, it was kind of funny, but then it just kept going and going, and it was almost the same thing every single time we saw him. Just like, what's his sidekick's name? Tilu?
Tilu.
Just like him. I mean, it was funny maybe the first like
couple of
three times.
Yeah.
But maybe if you go through and count, it was like 10 times or something. And then afterwards, it's just like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah,
like,
here it goes again.
Here we go. You know, and it just kind of like got old. And it's interesting that you're using something so many times in one movie that just kind of gets old.
It got old. It got predictable.
Yeah.
It actually became a distraction, because you're like, ugh. Not that again,
And then same with like the Rolls Royce, like, because we already saw that same joke when he was trying to leave, when Ruhan was trying to leave, we saw the same thing. So when they went with Rolls Royce and then started like trying to get out too, it was just kind of like, okay, we saw that coming. And it wasn't as funny. Like, I don't know, because you just did that same joke like literally 2 minutes before. And maybe you didn't need to last on it for so long. You could have like shortened it, be like, look, they're also in the maze. And then you could still throw them off. I really did enjoy Javan coming in and then him tumbling and whatnot. But then even that got old really quickly, because they played into it way too much.
Yeah, and I was like going, they got rid of him by throwing him over because Rolls-Royce disconnected from the car. And so they had to bring him back. The only reason he came back, he wasn't key to anything there.
Well, they brought him back as a joke, right? Because they were comic relief.
Yeah.
And I understand having comic relief because here, there, obviously, there were scary elements. There were some horror vibes here, but they didn't want to go too far that way, so they had to keep these three for comic relief. And maybe it's just me because I really love horror movies, and I felt like this had a really good chance to be there, but then every time I was getting like kind of creeped out, the three would pop up. And again, like I thought they were kind of funny a little bit, but then I said already, they just got old. And I don't want to get old by saying they got old, so I'm going to stop it there. But yeah, that was a big issue I had. And I did enjoy though the between the three ladies, who is Manjalika, and I thought that was a really fun thing through the entire movie, and I liked that.
Yeah.
So that was good.
The mask, I give it the mask. The mask was
cool.
Excellent. I mean, I might actually try and see if I can't find that online somewhere because that is a great mask.
Dude, if you just, oh wow, like, okay.
If I start looking now, I can have it for Halloween.
Yeah, oh, that's so creepy. I'm sure there probably is a mask out there you could find.
There is. And the other thing is that I definitely, there were lots of visuals that were really, really good.
Yeah, visually it was stunning,
the whole dust with the fire dust, the purple dust. Then when they were doing some of the dance numbers and the songs, visuals there, and the overall set in terms of the palace and where it was located, that was really, really beautiful. Just thought that was really, really nice.
Yeah.
So I liked that. The acting was decent. You know, he definitely pulled it off again as Mr. Smooth. I can work myself out of any situation.
I did really like the scene where he was pretending to be possessed by her mom.
Yeah.
Like that was really good, and it was really good acting. I mean, it was a voiceover, it wasn't his voice, but to get like the lip sync and to the mannerisms and all that, like I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Like that scene was just like superbly done.
So overall, I'm gonna give it, by comparison to the others, I'm gonna give this a 6. Overall, I come to the end of it and I was kind of like, it got wrapped up in a really odd way with an unusual spin. It didn't, I don't know, there were some parts that just didn't seem cohesive. And so I'm gonna give it a 6. Not, out of the ones that we've seen, wasn't the best, so.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty fair because even though I enjoyed the theme and I liked the twist, in this one, I probably like the twist in this one more than the others, but that doesn't redeem it because it's like the idea was there and I appreciate the idea, but I think the execution was a little lacking. So I do appreciate the try, and I think that it's, you know, it's an important subject, and, you know, it's good that films are bringing up these sort of issues. But I just think that it just felt so forced. It really did. Like at the end, it's like, no, I'm Manjalika. No, I'm Manjalika.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, guys, like I have a limit to where my brain is willing to like go here, go there, ping pong me all around. I have a limit. I do. And then it wasn't explaining. And I don't feel like, I don't know. I just don't feel like they gave us enough through the thing for us to have felt like we earned something by the end of it. And that's what I really want to feel is by the end of the movie, did we earn the reveal?
Yeah.
And I don't think we earned it. There was nothing really there along the way to feel like I really earned that reveal. So.
And honestly, as you know, things were coming to kind of a closure and a connection between the brother and his sisters, I'm like going, I should be really feeling something right now. And I'm kind of, I mean, I'm intellectually feeling it, and there's a part of me that's feeling it, but it was not, I should have been tearing up.
Well, I think the reason they didn't, and this is what I mean by earning that reveal, is the sisters didn't really have a turning point. They didn't have a journey where they learned stuff. All of a sudden, they're just faced there with the fire, and they're gonna burn him, and then all of a sudden they're like, wait, no, that's wrong. I'm not gonna do it. And it's just felt like a 180. I think it would have meant a lot more if through the movie, both sisters would have had to go through something that could have led them to like change their mentality. But the fact that they didn't have a journey of their own. They just were there. They were haunted and all that sort of stuff. But it wasn't enough. And I just feel like the emotions weren't there because we didn't feel as deep into their characters because they kept it hidden through the whole thing.
Right.
So all of a sudden, within 10 minutes, we were supposed to find out the truth behind Manjulika. And we were supposed to feel for that character, like with only being introduced to them like at that time. It's not enough time to feel. Now we could, as you said, intellectually like feel like, oh man, that's a really messed up situation.
Yeah, it was a messed up situation.
But to feel for somebody that you just met, I mean, you'd feel for them, but just not, like you didn't feel, I don't know how else to say it, but it just wasn't there for me. So I go back to what I was saying. I appreciate what they were trying to do. I just felt the execution was a little weak because I also didn't feel too much. I mean, I felt really bad, and I'm like, I was going to be really upset if they burned him. I was going to be like, that is going to be sending the complete wrong message here, and I was going to be really upset. But I need to give it a rating. I'm also going to give it a 6. That's what I was like thinking throughout the thing. I think what would have saved it for me is if they like toned down some of the over comedic areas or where they tried. Having a little bit is fine, and I think they did that in the others, and I think they did it okay. The second one was starting to get a little old towards the end, but not like this one. This one really, really drove me crazy about overdoing a certain joke too many times all in one movie. So, and maybe it's because we're coming from the second one and going into this, so then it's like feeling like double the amount because of the jokes.
Maybe,
It felt very much similar. So, anyway, that's what it is. But it was still enjoyable. Like I think like it's good for a one-time watch. But for me, I guess I just wanted more substance.
Yeah.
But you guys let us know in the comments, what did you think? You know, like, did you like it? Did you see that twist coming? Because I certainly did not.
I did not either. That one was, I mean, it literally, I almost like, record scratch, because it was like, whoa, okay, and where are we going with this?
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us and watching this video. And if you like this and you want to see more like these, then be sure to turn on all notifications. और अगर अब तक नहीं किया, subscribe कीजिए, share कीजिए, और like button पर थप्पड़ मारिए.